Now, my friend Teen Osborne, no relation to Ozzy, is looking to get rid of the popcorn ceiling that clashes with his casa's Spanish style. Now, truth is, I do prefer my popcorn at the movies and not on the ceiling, so I'm going to show him how to remove it. It's really a lot easier than you may think.
As you can see, the ceiling needs some work.
Oh yeah? Yeah, this is not part of the 1930s design, is it?
No, I think the original owners did some work in the 80s.
All right, well, you know what? It's not that difficult to take this down. It's a little bit messy.
Okay.
So we'll do a lot of preparation work here just to protect the walls and the floors. First thing, though, let's get the furniture out of here.
Okay. The chairs.
We're going to be using water to remove the acoustic ceiling, so we want to make sure the electricity is off.
Okay, Team, go ahead.
Team goes outside to the circuit breaker box, and I insert my circuit tester in a receptacle. When Team throws the breaker that controls the outlet, the tester will stop beeping.
Good, that's it.
With the power off, Team takes down the light fixture from the ceiling.
Oh, that was pretty easy, Ron.
Okay, well, first electrical job in the new place.
Next, we're going to cover the walls and floor with layers of heavy-duty plastic.
This is just a little added insurance here for the receptacles, even though we've turned the power off. So let's go ahead and...
We tape small pieces of plastic over each outlet. Next, we extend the plastic floor sheeting up the walls a foot or so and tape the edge. This will keep any water from getting under the baseboards.
So all that water is going to be dripping?
It will come right down here, yeah.
Oh, okay. It kind of makes me nervous, Ron.
Right. Well, it should.
Next, we run a strip of painter's tape along the upper edge of the walls, about 1/4 of an inch below the ceiling. This will give us a good seal at the top. Then we cover the entire wall with plastic, taping the top edge to the strip of tape we just put up. Finally, we roll out a layer of rosin paper. Now, this will absorb a lot of the water that falls from the ceiling, help prevent the floor from getting slippery, reduce the possibility of tracking debris into other parts of the house, and make cleanup a lot easier.
Some blown-on acoustical ceilings applied before the early 70s contain asbestos, and they should be removed only by a certified asbestos removal contractor. Now, you can find out if your ceiling contains asbestos by taking a small sample and then send it off to an EPA-certified testing lab before you begin your removal project. Okay, team, now for the fun part. This is just a garden sprayer, plain water in here.
Okay.
We're going to start applying this to the ceiling. Probably want to work in an area about 4 to 5 feet square at a time. It's probably better to make several passes and kind of let it soak it up as you go.
The acoustic material on a ceiling like this can absorb a lot of water. The trick is to wet it thoroughly, but not over-wet it. Too much water can damage the paper surface of the wallboard underneath.
Now, this is what we're going to use to scrape this material off the ceiling. It's a joint knife. You can think of it as kind of a wide putty knife. So what I was doing a moment ago was rounding off the corners right here. That will prevent us from gouging the ceiling, something we'd have to repair later on.
Now, the water has done most of the work. This popcorn ceiling is just about falling off by itself. If we run into any hard scraping, we'll stop, apply a little more water, wait, and then try again. Before team gets too far, we take a little break and unroll a second layer of rosin paper right on top of the ceiling debris. Presto, we've got a nearly clean floor surface again. In less than an hour, team is removing the final remnants of his old popcorn ceiling. With the dirty work done, we take down the plastic sheeting from the walls and roll up the wet paper and plastic on the floor. The mess from the old ceiling gets wrapped up inside, and the whole thing goes into a large garbage bag. Now, the same water that so easily removed the acoustic coating has also loosened the paper joint tape.
So now we've got a bare joint right here, and we're going to have to recover that. Okay. So step one, this is joint compound right here. Mixed it up in a tray, and I'm going to put this on using about a 6-inch knife.
First, we lay down a thin layer of joint compound along the joint line.
Beautiful.
Next, I dip the joint tape in a bucket of water and squeeze off the excess between my fingers.
I find that the wet tape...
Wetting the tape makes it stick to the joint compound better and reduces the likelihood of air bubbles. Team uses a putty knife to press the tape into the joint compound and smooth off the excess.
That same water that caused our tape to come loose has kind of eroded these nail holes. This is joint compound that was put on to cover up the depressions from the nail holes or screw holes, whatever they used here.
Sure.
So we're going to have to bring those back up flush with the wallboard.
We use the joint compound sparingly, just enough to fill the holes. It's faster to make too thin applications than overfilling and having to do a lot of extra sanding later.
A little steeper. That's pretty good. Well, our joint compound is dry. Now we're going to do a little sanding, but we're not going to use sandpaper. We're going to use instead a sanding mesh like this right here. Now this is designed to go on a sanding pad, and this particular sanding pad is on the end of a long pole so that we don't have to go back up on the ladder. Team, all set. You're all ready to go here. Just hold this up on the ceiling.
The secret here is to sand off high ridges. Low spots will be filled with another coat of joint compound.
Well, the popcorn's gone.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of stuff on us in the process,
Yeah.
but we're not
But
too
it's
bad
not
here.
too bad.
You got a couple things left to do. You're probably going to want to put on maybe one, maybe two skim coats just to fill up any low spots with a light sanding in between. And then prime this. And be sure to choose a primer that says for wallboard.
Okay.
And then you can leave it. You can put a final coat of paint on, or you can texture it to match your walls right here, whatever. That would be your choice at this point.
Okay.
Anyway, the first probably of many home improvement projects here in this
Yeah.
house, huh?
I'm energized. I have confidence now.
Well, I say leave the popcorn for the movies. A smooth ceiling is the first step in making Team's vision for his dream house a reality.